Yo, what's going on, man? Today is the 29th of June, 2024. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show. We are live as we always are on Twitter and on YouTube as well. A couple minutes late this morning. My apologies for that. I guess I'm feeling pretty good, but slightly under the weather. So, it is what it is. Let's try to see if we can find some winners. Jump into the quick recap as we always do. If you guys are new to the show, we typically start off with a recap. Always remain transparent, and then we'll go through a couple of the comments, and we'll get into the two games that we have on the slate for today. And the line's already moving as well, so you got to really get in on these lines before they start to move too much. So let's jump into the recap. Yesterday, I gave out two plays. I was on Atlanta plus the 8.5. A lot of people were on the Connecticut Sun. The line moved all the way up to 10. They lost the game outright. So we were on the right side with Atlanta. Pretty easy. Definitely an easy winner. And then Phoenix decided to not play any defense. De'Erica Hamby looked like Steph Curry in the first half. I think she hit 3 or 4 threes in the first half. And Phoenix actually was, I think, winning or losing by 1 at halftime. And they came out, of course, had a dominant second half. So we were on the wrong side of Phoenix. So we go 1-1. We don't lose anything. But it's super frustrating because Phoenix definitely should have covered. They had actually been better in the first half than they had been in the full game, which is why I took them first half. But it is what it is. We'll try to move forward and push along for better today. Only 2 games for today, so we'll jump in the comments real quick, and then we'll get on the 2 games that we have for today. Let's see. Gregory became a member. Appreciate that, Gregory. Hopefully we can give out some more winners. Rowan likes the Aces team total over 90.5, and Kelsey Plum to go over her 4.5 assists. What up to my guy Mark? Says good morning, Chris, and to the community. He also said thanks again, Chris, for your channel. It's great for researching games and analysis. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm not looking towards unders if the total are 150. It's too much of a sweat. I said it yesterday. I definitely said it yesterday. What up to my guy Jamie? He says happy Saturday, Chris. I hope everyone was able to cash the Mercury first quarter team total over and the Sun first half under. I remember you said 78 yesterday. They had like 40 something. It was like 20 something and 20 something. It felt like going into halftime. So easy winner there. 2 easy winners yesterday from my guy Jamie and Chad. You've been hot too. Tell you how to pay attention, man. Mystics plus 12. Ricardo says. Kelsey Plum over 2.5 threes. Kalani says. It's a lot of people dropping plays already. What's up, Jay Muse? Also cashed the Dream plus 8.5 yesterday as well. Underdog day today, so Dallas and Mystics the points. Okay, Ricardo, I need to know why. Okay. What up to my guy Justin? Always in here with me early in the morning. G Martinez says you hit the Dream. Yeah, it's difficult to play the Dream, but I couldn't play Connecticut last night. Ricardo says he took the Dream money line, paid off. Oh, okay. Over, so we'll get into this game, of course, Justin. Absolutely. Wings money line gonna feed the fams today, Helm says. Absolutely not. We're gonna talk about it, Helm. So I'm not with you in agreement there. Helm says he likes the Aces minus the 12. Okay. All right. It's a lot of looks in here. Rob says, good morning, everyone. What up, Rob? Good morning, Tasha. Z's Nut says, good morning. Let's get this cash. I was liking Mystics team total over 81.5, but I see they have some injuries listed. Mystics have been crushing that lately. Yeah, we're going to talk about that for sure, Z's. I think that's a pretty sharp look, and I got some notes on that for sure. More Life Sway says Dream was free money last night. Didn't even need the points. Terrible spot for the Sun. I said it, and people told me Sun minus the 8. They do move really, really fast. They do move early, so you got to know what side you want to be on for sure, Helms. What up, Manny? Appreciate you for tapping in this morning as well. Jabba says, what's up, gang? What we thinking about the team total first quarter for the Aces? Man, we're going to talk about that too, Jabba. I'm actually going to start this because I do want to jump into this. Because remember, yesterday I gave out, not yesterday. Yesterday was Friday. Thursday, I gave out Aces first quarter team total over against Chicago. And they finished on 21. The team total was 22.5. So you're looking for perfection if you're looking for over in the first quarter. You need a lot of things to go right, not for the team not to come out super sleepy. And we've seen that happen. So I'll probably be off of. We'll talk a little bit more about it. What's up, Timmy? Says salute. He likes Dawson over her 1.5 threes. I think that's a really good look. She's going to bring Asia Kia Stokes out there to that three-point line for sure. What's up, Damie? Says top of the morning, Chris. Community, let's get this money today. Jewel Lloyd over her 1.5 threes. Okay. Jizzy says, reminder to hit the like button. If you guys could, that definitely helps the show. I appreciate that. And Ricardo says, simply Mystics trying to win. Yeah. All right, let's jump into it. I think I got through all of them, most of them anyway. First game up, and these lines they did change, which is why I had to go in and change them myself as well. We got the Aces. This line opened at 11, I think it was. Let me just double check real quick. I want to say it was somewhere around 11. When it first came out, not like I always say this, but you guys know y'all can get the first lines typically drop on DraftKings if you guys have access to DraftKings. So open 11.5, actually came down to 11, and now it's up to 12.5, depending on where you're shopping. Total in this one, I do remember seeing this total at 169. It's actually up to 173.5, and this was one where I probably should have got in on the 169. I did play the over in this game. Definitely played the over. So let's jump into it. So I sent this out last night at 171. It's up 2 more points, and it's actually already had been up 2 points since it opened. So injury report wise, let's see. All right, so injury report wise, we got Kirsten Bell, only person listed for the Aces. She's been out for, past few games. She's been out for a handful of games now. And on the Mystics side, you got Brittany Sykes, Shakira Austin continue to be out. Carly Simpson also out with that fractured hand. But they do have, I think they should get Aaliyah Edwards back today. She is listed as probable. So I think she's going to play after missing that game against Connecticut. So situationally, you guys can see what I have here. Aces second straight road game, last road game of a 2-game road trip as well. Of course, they smoked Chicago the other day. They've won 3 straight games. They've actually won 4 of their last 5 games as well. So this team is kind of clicking on all cylinders since they got Chelsea Gray back. Her shots getting better. And the Aces are doing a really good job of moving the basketball. So on the opposite side, you got the Mystics. 1 day's rest. They're coming off that overtime game. Typically, you want to fade the team coming off the overtime game. And they've lost off the home loss, and they've covered 5 games in a row. They've scored. This is crazy. This Mystics team has scored 91 points or more in 3 straight games, if you include the overtime game. And they've actually have gone over in 5 straight games as well. So over the 4-game total in 5 straight games and 7 of their last 8. The Mystics have been, if you've been watching them play, they're really moving the basketball. It's a lot of, drive, kick, penetration to 3-point shooters like Stephanie Dolson, Ariel Atkins, Manisha Hines-Allen, Walker Kimbrough. Like, they still got some veterans on this team that's going out there playing really, really hard. And the Aces defense don't really scare me. So I'm not going to get into all the seasonal records. You guys can see all those different things right there, the offensive rating, the defensive rating, the net rating. But what I do want to point out is look at the offensive rating that I put down there. So this is just last 5 games. You see the Aces, the second best offense, the Mystics, the 5th best offense. We talked about this for why we like the Mystics against the Connecticut Sun 2 nights ago, and they just look really, really good, man. I do want to mention this real quick before, and this is the only thing that gave me a slight bit of hesitation. For whatever reason, when the Aces come to DC, and I vividly remember this last year, we were on the Aces when we were on the Mystics when they came into DC, because the Aces had a big game afterwards. I forgot who they were going to play, but we took the Mystics plus the points. I think they were getting like 9.5, and the Mystics have beaten the Aces 3 straight times in DC. All 3 games have actually gone under the total. So for whatever reason, when the Aces come to DC, I don't know if it's a letdown spot. I'm not sure what it is, but they do not win against the DC in DC against the Mystics, and it's always on the weekend too. I'm not sure exactly if it was a Saturday or a Sunday game last year. I want to say it was a Sunday, if I'm remembering right, because I just remember like being like, this is a flat spot for the Aces. Now, granted, that Mystics team and those Mystics teams were better than this Mystics team, of course, but they do continue to cover the number, and this is definitely not right. Now that I'm looking at that, that's not. Hold on 1 second. Let's see. I thought I did a good job of updating this. The Mystics are not. You can't be 12-16. So this should say 12-6. My fault. Let me change that real quick, guys. 12-6. That should not say 12-16. That's an extra one right there. So they should say 12-6 against the spread because they continue to cover the number at home. There we go. So they're 12-6 against the number at home. So when I sent this out last night, I'll just read to you guys what I was looking at. So the Aces, I think they should be, when I look at it from a situation, from a X's and O's standpoint, I think they should be able to dominate points in the paint. Over the last 5 games, Vegas is number 1 in restricted area field goal percentage. A lot of that is Asia Wilson, them, other guards getting downhill and being able to score in the paint as well. And they're shooting 74%, while Washington's defense has actually been the 3rd worst, allowing teams to shoot nearly 70% from the restricted area. So Aces should be able to score the basketball, in my opinion. Even though Vegas has been winning, they've been covering their last few games, the defensive rating is still a 105.3, which is the 4th worst over the last 5 games. I think Washington should be able to contribute as well. They should be able to score. Vegas is giving up an average of 83 points in their 6 road games so far this season, and 5 of their 6 opponents have actually gone over their team total. All but 2 of the Aces' 6 opponents have actually scored 81 or better. And last night, this team total, if I was going to add anything, this team total was, I think it was 77.5. Yeah, it's up to 79.5. And I definitely agree with the movement there. Like I said, the Washington offenses look good. They're 3rd in points per game in the last 5 games versus the Vegas team that's number 2. Combined, these teams are averaging 179 points over the last 5 games. So I expected the total to go up. One quick note on Washington's offense. I'll get into the comments. Washington's offense has come from the mid-range shot. They're shooting 47% over the last 5 games. They've also taken and made the 2nd most above the break threes, and they're shooting nearly 38% from the above the break 3, which is 3rd in the WNBA over the last 5 games. Vegas defense has been kind of middle of the pack, as far as their 3-point defense. And they just continue to play with a lot of pace. Aces play top 3 pace, of course. I think they are number 1 in pace over the last 5 games. So I'm definitely not looking towards the under in this one. To me, there is a potentially a way that this game gets to 200 points, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Real quick, I want to give you guys some pace numbers before I jump in the comments. Yeah, Aces playing at the 2nd fastest pace over the last 5 games, fastest pace on the full season. And Mystics not too far behind. They're 6th over the whole full season, but 5th over the last 5 games. So this game should have a lot of up and down. I'm interested. I want to try to see if I can find another way to play it too. I'm not interested in the spread. Could the Aces win this game by double digits? I think that they can. I think that they should. If I could have got a 10, I probably would have took the 10 with the Aces. The Mystics, they can run out of gas late. We saw that happen against the Connecticut Sun. They've been a really good first half team as well. So if you think that, I guess the secondary play would be a look towards potentially a look towards their the first half to go over instead of the full game. It's probably shaded that direction as well. Let me just double check something. So the Mystics are 12-4. It's crazy. 12-4, cashing 75%. 12-4-2, cashing 75% of their first half tickets. They are a really good first half team. 9-3-1 off a loss in the first half. Like I said, I don't want them for a game. And 12-3-2 against the number. And this is all on moneyballer.com. 12-3-2 against the number as a dog in the first half. Let's see what you guys are saying about this one. I feel like I talked for a long time. Let's see what you guys are saying. Aces going on a killing spree, Helm says. G Martinez says Aces is levels to it. Both games going to go over, Malcolm says. Helm says I could see both going over too. Okay. Jabba says if this game goes like the Las Vegas versus Chicago game did, then the Mystics somehow is close or in the lead at halftime. I'm slamming the Aces spread. Feels like they can close out any game strong, and that is true. I think the other thing I wanted to mention real quick is I was looking ahead for the look ahead spot for the Aces in this game, and they don't really have one. They go back to Vegas after this game. They got the Fever. I don't think that's a look ahead spot. They got the Fever on the 2nd, and then they got the Mystics again. The Mystics actually come to Vegas on the 4th next week. So Yeah, I don't think that's too much of a look ahead spot. I don't think either game is too much of a look ahead spot for the Aces. And yeah, Mystics should be comfortable. 4 straight home games. So yeah, I agree with that. Let's see. Bruce says missed on both my sides and total yesterday. Yeah, you was on the opposite side, Bruce. He says hit both my props though. Love to hear that. Ricardo says Aces will show some regression. Mystics been doing all right. Show regression how, Ricardo? I'm interested to know how. Offensively, because their defense hasn't really been that good. So if you think that the Mystics are gonna stop somebody, let me know. Let me know in the comment section. Holmes says he went 1-1 on props yesterday. Grana, I got hooked on. Yeah, they looked terrible early, but they looked okay. Shout out to ChrisBeCappinn in the third quarter. Wish he could have did it in the first half. Drizzy says hit the under first half yesterday at 77.5 for the dream game. Glad you hit that. Luke likes Ariel Atkins over 1.5 threes. He says that looks good. Yeah, I couldn't talk you off. I'll say this, Kelsey Plum on defense, she can be a cone at times. I don't know if anybody talking about it. I don't know if you guys watched the Chicago game, Kennedy Carter, pretty much getting whatever it is that she wanted. Marina Mabry, also pretty much getting whatever it is that she wanted. So yeah, those guards for Washington should be able to score the basketball today. I definitely agree with that. Let's see. Drizzy says he caught the Mercury -5.5 at the Sun game under 20.5. Sun under 20.5. Fourth quarter team total. Hit both of those. Good day in the WNBA. Happy to hear that. Cardo says 12.5 is a lot. A lot to have in your pocket. Worth the bet on the Mystics. I think if you like the Mystics, you just play them early, Ricardo. I could see them really running out of gas here. I definitely could see them running out of gas. Real quick, this comment makes me think. Let's see. The Aces on the road. So the Aces on the road, and this goes back to the one that I talked about earlier too. The Aces on the road, 4-2 straight up, 3-3 against the number. Excuse me. 4-2 to the over. They've gone over in 4 straight games. Like I said, the last 4 opponents have actually gone over their team total. The Wings went over, scored 81 points. Sparks went over, scored 96 points. The Mercury went over, scored 99 points. And then, of course, the Sky went over and scored 83 points. But the Aces offense has looked, it's been humming. 95 points against the Wings, 92 points against the Sparks, 103 against the Mercury, and 95 against the Sky. So it only makes sense that their total's going up. If you look at when they're doing their damage, it's primarily been in the second quarter. Second quarter, they are, and we were on the first quarter. They're only averaging 19.5 points in the first quarter. But in the second quarter, they're averaging 25.2. It's actually their strongest quarter in their road game so far. And it's not even close. 19.5 in the first quarter, 25 in the second quarter, and then 22, almost 23 in the fourth quarter. So yeah, second quarter has been the best quarter. They have a 5-point margin in the second quarter for whatever that's worth. They are getting outscored by 2 in the third quarter and outscoring their opponents by almost 3 in the third quarter. I mean the fourth quarter, I'm sorry. So yeah, first quarter, not really a too big of an advantage. Yeah, and of course this is all, with and without Chelsea Gray too, so take it with a grain of salt. What up, Mom? It's just a bet. She says, grateful for the Saturday breakdowns. Thanks again. Jamie, here we go. He says, Aces second quarter team total over 23.5 is worth a look. He says they've averaged 26 points per game and it's 26 points per second quarter in the last 5. They have the highest second quarter net rating in the WNBA. So if they do start off slow, I'll be looking at this one. I'm writing this down because it makes sense with what I just said as well. Aces second quarter team total over. I like that look a lot, Jay. Okay. If they do start off slow. More Sway says Aces win, Mystics cover. 12 is a lot of lumber delay on the road. Yeah, I guess it is. They beat the Sky by 12. Beat the Mercury by 4. Beat the Sparks, lost to the Sparks outright. Beat the Wings by 9. Nah, hold on, I'm sorry. Beat the Sky by 12, beat the Wings by 14, and beat the Lynx by 14. So they do have 3 wins by 12 points or more. But they've also lost to the Dream. That was, of course, before Chelsea Gray came back. They also lost to the Sparks by 4, and they beat the Mercury by 4. So yeah, for what it's worth. Z's Ness says he likes the first quarter over 43, so thinking we see points early. Joshua says I'll be watching you on Kyle's show. Keep up the good work. Appreciate that. Live bet it at half, Chris. Mystics will keep it close, and then Vegas can pull away. So let's see. What can we get for the first half spread real quick? Just because we keep talking about it. Let's see what that number is. It's 7.5. Yeah, I would take it. I would take Mystics first half plus the 7.5. That's a big number. That's a super big number. Damn. Okay. 7.5 is the best number you could get. Minus 110 on BetMGM right now. Also on DraftKings, Caesars. It's everywhere pretty much. All right, let's get through. I'm trying to skip to the bottom because I talk too much. Antonio says Aces first half, put the kids' daycare money on it. Oh, so he's on the opposite side. I definitely disagree with that, Antonio. Just based off the trends, I'm not looking to fade the Washington Mystics at home in the first half. He says Mystics shot unbelievably first half against the Sun. Regression for the Mystics offensively, especially in the first half. I don't know if you knew or not, Antonio, but this is what they do. The Washington Mystics score all their points in the first half, and they cover all their spreads, and then they don't do as much in the second half. But on record, they're averaging 43 points in the first half, and they're only giving up 39. Then they average just 37 points in the second half. So yeah, this is what this team does, and then they get terribly outscored in the fourth quarter. Most games, probably the highest point differential. They lose by average of 4 points in the fourth quarter. Let's see. Sweetest Spiritual Queen, appreciate you for tapping in as well. Jabba says we got a discount on Atkins due to her bad performance lately. Prop line is 13.5. Perfect game to bounce back on. I agree with that. She did roll her. I think she rolled her ankle, or she got hit in the eye. Might have been both, honestly. She should. If she's good to go, she should be. She is a warrior too. She should be good to go in this one. Joshua says Ariel Atkins over 14.5 points. Yeah, I would look toward somebody got to score the basketball. Somebody definitely got to score the basketball. Let's see what else y'all talking about in here. I can't even get to all the comments. It's a lot. What's up to my guy All Praise Picks? Jay Holiday says Sun Game snuck that low over the last. Snoop that low over last night. Yeah, we talked about that. Yep. Yeah, I think she'll be fine too, Holmes. I agree with that. And Bruce likes Kelsey Plum to get 18 points tonight at minus 128. She could, yeah. Somebody, I'm never really sure who's going to be between Chelsea Gray and Kelsey Plum. They both can score the basketball at a really high rate when they kind of get into their offensive zones. Asia had 20-something points at the end of the first half, and then they just kind of took turns in the third quarter and the fourth quarter against Chicago the other day. All right, let's go over to the next game. We got the Dallas Wings and the Seattle Storm. We got the Storm laying double digits again. This line opened, I think it was 9.5, up to 11. Total also moving up. Open 164.5 is up to 166. And yeah, I got you guys see 165 on here. It's actually moved since we started the show, up a little bit as well. So for the Wings, getting to it situationally, we got a team coming off 1 day's rest. Of course, they coming off that big upset win against the Commissioner Cup winner in the Minnesota Lynx. I'm over here struggling. So the big thing. Well, let's get into the rest of the breakdown first. So Wings team on the road. They only went home for one game. They will still be without Maddie Siegrist, Jayla Brown, Satu Sabali remained out as well. They did get Natasha Howard back. She's been back for like 3 or 4 games. And then they also bought back, what's her name? I can't think of her name. It's right on the tip of my tongue too. Odyssey Sims, that's who it is. Odyssey Sims, if you guys had a chance to watch that game the other day, she was the reason why we lost that third quarterback. Odyssey Sims comes right back into action. They said she flew over from Paris the day before and signed with the team, of course. She comes in, looks like she never misses a beat. She has 18 points in that game against the Minnesota Lynx. So the question that you got to ask yourself for this game is Dallas back? Or, because they do have Odyssey Sims and Enrique shot 5 for 8 from the 3-point line, are we going to continue to see that? Or is it, just a Seattle Storm, still at home, they winning by double digits? Do you continue to take them to play defense the way that they're capable of playing defense and win the game? So real quick, I want to go through that box score real quick. Because Enrique, we always talk about Enrique, the team kind of living and dying with the way that Enrique can perform. Dallas scored 94 points against Minnesota. Minnesota's defense has been really, really good. Flat spot, of course, off the Commissioner's Cup game. But I'm looking through the box score. Tierra McCowan plays really, really well. 17 points, 12 rebounds. Enrique has 23 points. She actually shot the ball decently for her field goal percentage. 8 of 17 is not 50%, but it's pretty close, right? 45, 43, 44%. And she made 5 of her 8 3-pointers. The Dallas Wings as a team made 60% of their 3-pointers, 9 for 15 from the 3-point line overall. And like I said, a lot of it was Monique Billings coming off the bench. She was a plus 12. She had 14 points. And then Odyssey Sims looked great. 8 for 12 from the field, 2 for 2 from the 3-point line, had 18 points and 4 dimes. To me, that only pushes the total up and over in this game, because I do think that Odyssey Sims being back helps the Dallas Wings offense. Now, defensively, I think they're still going to struggle. They still end up giving up 88 points. The Minnesota Lynx still go up and over their team total at 88. So I kind of like the over in this game. I do expect, a little bit of regression for the Dallas Wings, offensively, but I think that they should be able to score the basketball. Seattle has been really, really good. Of course, defending the 3-point line, defending guards, defending bigs with Ezzy Magmagor and Neko Ogumake down there. And I also want to mention this is the first of one of those back-to-backs. So this is one of those mini-series where these two teams will play. I think it's on the 1st. So they'll get tomorrow off and then they'll play again on Monday, I think it is. So same two teams, same arena as well, because this will be a long homestand for the Seattle Storm. I think it's like 7-8 games in a row, and this is only game number 3. So I'm not in the business of really wanting to fade Seattle. Like they've looked really, really good. At home, they're 6-1 straight up, 5-2 against the number, and they're winning by an average of 8 points, which is exactly where this line is. I don't really think it means much, but these two teams have played already. The first meeting of the season was played on the 13th of June. So about 2 weeks ago, Seattle was laying 6.5. They won that game by 8. It went over to 160. And what I will say is this: Seattle, after they lost their first 2 games of the season, they've been 5-0 against the number, 5-0 straight up at home. They beat Indiana by 12. They beat Connecticut by 11. They beat the Sparks by 16. They beat the Mercury by 18 before BG and Becca Allen came back. And they beat the Mystics by 32. Whereas the Wings, they are 3-5 against the number in their 8 road losses so far this season. And they've lost by double digits in 4 of the 8. So I think I like the over a little bit more. I think the Wings should be able to contribute to score in this game. Both of these teams play with pace. Let me see real quick. I think I had it pulled up. I think Odyssey Sims, she definitely helps a lot. And I think, Seattle don't have to play such hard defense, man. The game went under the other day because they locked up Caitlin Clark so bad. I don't think they can do Enrique like that, because Enrique at least a little bit stronger than Caitlin Clark. But let's see, pace numbers. We got 7th in pace over the last 5 games for the Wings, and 6th in pace over the last 5 games for the Seattle Storm. They are playing a little bit slower because on the season they're 2nd in pace. Yeah, I kind of like over. I agree with the total moving up. I didn't play it, but it is moving up. 164.5, it looks like is what it opened at, and it's up to 166. Also, money coming in on the Aces got that line up to 13 as well. So, yeah, I didn't play this game, but that's the way I'm kind of looking. I think I would like the over a little bit more. Maybe even a look towards the Seattle team total over early. See my guy Skier here says Enrique gonna build a house today. So he's probably thinking the other way. Enrique Westbrook, AOD says. All right, let's go back to the top and see how you guys are thinking about this one. Let's see. Ski says just made it home and you already did a show. What up, Ski? You could have jumped on, Ski. Could have talked it out, man. Even without no sleep. I know you probably already played the game anyway. Helm says, I feel like you should be going to Asia points for the Aces right now. Yeah, I could see Asia having a big game. Like, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Let's see. Brian says on Hard Rock, you can get the Mystics first half plus 7.5 at plus 100 and plus 8.5 at plus 125. I don't really do the alt lines, Brian, but I appreciate you for shouting it out. Yeah, I wouldn't want to lay the juice. I would just take the plus 7.5 if I was going to play it. He says, how much juice would you lay? I would just take the 7.5 at plus 100 just because you can get even. But if you want the 125, sure. Like 8.5, 7.5, what is that? Both of those are, about 3 possessions or more. So they don't really move me as much. Sincerely says, I'm glad I listened to you and changed my bet on the dream. I think I'm chilling on first quarter and first half bets though. Yeah, I ain't messing with that either. The Ski is in the building. Helm says doubleheader. Wings play in Seattle Monday too. I said that as well. He says dog first game favored by 20 on Monday. Okay, so he's thinking about taking the points here. Storm win this one for sure. All praise pick says. I agree with that. Jamie says he likes the Storm first quarter team total over 22.5. Already at the window with it. Okay. So yeah, the Dallas Wings defense. Let's talk about that real quick while we're still on this comment. Because as you guys can see on the screen, well, actually it's hidden right now, but the Wings defense has been one of the worst. They're 11-6 to the over. They went over in 3 straight games, went over in 4 of their last 5 games as well. They gave up 88 to the Lynx. They gave up 92 to the Mystics, 97 to the Mystics, 83 to the Sky, 90 to the Lynx, 85 to the Sun, 92 to the Storm. So yeah, they've been a really, really poor defense. And it doesn't translate. Just because you got Tierra McCown and Kehlani Brown down there, they're good, big, presence as far as offensive rebounding, but they don't defensive rebound the ball well, and they don't play a lot of defenses, which is why I like this one to go over as well. I did look at the team total. I think it's 87.5 is what it was, and I could see the Sky. I could see the Storm kind of getting right to about 87 or 88, and kind of stopping there, which scared me off of that. 88.5, it looks like it's the best number. Minus 115 on FanDuel. It's actually up to 89.5 on some books as well. So the books are expecting the Storm to Sky. The Storm to Sky. They're expecting the Storm to score. And I kind of agree with that. That's just a really, really high number though. And the Storm can't have one of those stinker type quarters. But if we're expecting pace from the Wings, then that makes a lot of sense. Maybe first quarter though. Couldn't talk you off, Jamie. Okay. Let's see. All praise pick says letdown spot for the Dallas Wings after an unexpected W versus the Lynx. That's how I was kind of feeling too, looking at Storm early. I wish the Storm was coming off a loss. I think eventually they're going to be caught in a flat spot, but they just continue to play really, really good basketball at home. Enrique versus Lloyd, always a movie, Helm says. I don't know what kind of movie it's going to be today. Joe Lloyd probably due for a letdown game too, just because she plays so well. She had like 15 points in the first quarter against but she is playing against a bad defense. So don't let me talk you off, huh? Jay Holiday says he's taking Asia plus 100 over 27.5 points on ESPN bet. Okay. Three Kings is not feeding much into the Wings last win. Yeah, I think it was a letdown spot, as I talked about the other day after the Lynx won the Commissioner's Cup game. But I do think that's one part of it. But getting Odyssey Sims back helps a lot. Like clearly she was ready to come back to the WNBA and deserves a spot on somebody's roster. They just brought her right back in, threw her right back out there. She finished the game. Like she was hooping too. So yeah, I think they contribute offensively. What else we seeing? Let's get to the last few. More Sway says Jewel Lloyd back in her groove, coming off a 34-point performance. Storm early and often in this one. Yeah, I think the first half is 6 again. When I was looking at it real quick, I wanted to go right back to it because we talked about it the other day and I didn't even play it. Yeah, 6 for the Seattle Storm. Minus 105 on bet 365. So a little less juice you can lay too. I do kind of like Seattle early. Let's see. Jamie says this reeks of a letdown. Wings coach was crying. She was crying. I did see Coach Tremmel. Coach Tremmel. Yeah, she was crying. I did see that. Very, very emotional performance. I was trying to figure out what she was crying for when they won the game. But yeah, I'm there with you. Helm says he's going to wait, fade the wings on Monday. So thinking the opposite. G Martinez says, yeah, the mascara was running. Oh, man. Yeah, y'all cracking up early, man. Cracking up early. Let's see. Bruce likes Joe Lloyd over 20.5 points. And he likes Enrique to go over 22.5 points. He's taking all the overs today. Wild Drink says, I'm taking over in all games. I never play under. You're not going to win all the time, but you'll win sometimes playing the overs. Let's see. Lord of the Realm says, I'm betting that over 166.5 before it gets any higher. Yeah, I think that's the best look here as well. You think the Wings on the money line tonight, Helm? I could not disagree with you more. I do not like the Wings on the money line today. Ronnie says Skylar Diggins hit more than 1-3. He could. I've been watching Skylar play, man. She just been diamond. Like, she really ain't been looking for a shot a lot at all. And when she does, it feels like she's just kind of putting her head down and going to the rim. So I couldn't talk you off, but it's not something that I'm interested in right now. Skylar looks like she's just trying to get everybody else involved. Jordan Horston, Ezzy, NECA. She's like a true point guard. Skylar is amazing. I love Skylar Diggins. Let's see. If it is competitive, Bruce says he likes Skylar Diggins to go over her 6.5 assists. That's what I was kind of hitting on, but I don't think I'm gonna get there with the number being what it is. Appreciate you, Holmes, as well, man. Best of luck, bro. Best of luck today. Markel says, would you go over? And what's up, Wings? Yeah, I would go over. I would only go over. I think the Wings will be able to contribute. I do think that let's see, the Wings team total is 76.5. Let's do some capping on the Wings team total real quick. 76.5. All right, so I want to see on the road specifically. The average is 79 on the road. They went over against the Mystics. That's something totally different, though. They also only scored 69 versus the Mystics. And this, you kind of got to look at all these with a grain of salt because Odyssey Sims just came back. She's going to help a lot. Natasha Howard just came back, getting her feet underneath her as well. So I think some of these you can take with a grain of salt. I wouldn't look too much at this now that I'm thinking about it. But the Storm defense has been strong at home, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't play it immediately. Storm only giving up 73 points per game at home. And they held the Fever to 77, the Sun to 61, the Sparks to 79, the Mercury to 62, the Mystics to 69. So, yeah, the team total seems appropriate for the Dallas Wings. Could they go up and over to 76.5? I think that they could. But it's going to have to be played with pace. If the Storm get this slowing the game down, I think the Wings can get smothered. And a lot of it, kind of relies on Enrique, too. Is she going to have another good three-point shooting game? It's kind of hard to figure out, man. I would kind of bank on her not being able to shoot the ball so well. That's just my thoughts there, which is why this game is difficult to bet. I'm just going through the comments, and y'all keep commenting, too. We've been on here for 41 minutes breaking down two games. All Pray Fish says thoughts on Ezzy points. She's been hooping lately. Yeah, and I'm not scared of Tierra McCowan either, or Kalani Brown. So, yeah, I couldn't talk you off Ezzy. She could bring Kalani out to the three-point line. Ezzy can stretch the floor, too, and knock down the threes. Lord of the Realm says, nice call on the Sun game. Man, I didn't see that coming. Seemed like a bounce-back spot. The Dream are terrible, but don't get it twisted. It was 4 days of rest to 0. Whenever you see a team coming off an overtime game and then they got to travel and they won, I'm always looking to fade them. That's just my opinion. We done, man. We can get on it. Let's get off here. I only made one play. I'm trying to find a way to play the second game, but I have not found the way to play it yet. Just the over for me. Just the over between the Aces and the Washington Mystics today. I got in at 171 last night. 171 or 171.5. I can't remember exactly what I sent out, but whatever it is, that's what I ended up playing for today. Man, I really don't know what to do with the second game. I think there's a couple different ways you could play it. I like what Jamie said about, first quarter team total over 22.5. And maybe just a look towards the first half team total to go over as well, especially if we think it's a letdown spot for the Dallas Wings in that last game beating the Lynx. The defense, like I said, hasn't been good at all. So yeah, maybe a look towards. I think if I had to make one more play. So let me add this. I probably would look first half either on the spread for Seattle. Let's see. I would go Seattle first half minus the 6, or Seattle first half team total over. I think it's 45.5. Those are the ways that I would be looking. Really just wanting to fade the Wings defensively. Did not make this play though. It's not an official play, but that is the way that I would be looking if I was playing anything else. Seattle first half, Seattle team total in the first half to go over to 44.5, 45.5, whatever that number is. And let me change this because I see what my guy Justin says. He said I sent out 175. So yeah, we'll make that 175.5. Any doubles? George says, nah, no doubles. Asia under her 11.5 rebounds. Best of luck. I'm never fading Asia. And All Praise Pick says he appreciates the show. Justin says he appreciates the show as well. G Martinez says, well, up to 13.5. God damn, I didn't think it would get that high. Also, we talked about this, man. Just based on the numbers. Let's add one more. Let's go Washington plus. I wonder if you can get an 8 real quick. Let's just double check it. Plus 8.5 minus 115 in the first half for the Mystics. Ooh, that looks tempting with how good the Mystics have been in the first half. Plus 8.5 on ESPN bet for the Washington Mystics. Jesus. Yeah, I think I would have to add that to at least to the short list. I don't know if I'm gonna get there, but yeah, with the way that they've been playing, I'll think about it. I got some time. And last thing I'll mention real quick, this is a 2:00 start time between the Mystics and the Aces, and then the Seattle game is a late game tonight. So yeah, those are my thoughts there. And that's gonna be the show, man. That is gonna be the show. I feel like I've been talking forever about 2 games. Resources that I use are here as always. Definitely check these out if you guys are interested. Moneyballer.com. I kind of used it during the show. And then OddsJam, of course, as well. You guys can sign up, get 25% off your first month using code CBC at checkout over on OddsJam if you guys are interested in checking out their software. And then, yeah, that's it. That's it for today. If you enjoyed the show, you're still watching, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Share the show is always helpful as well. The link for all my official plays is in the description. Hopefully we can find a way to get some cash. Hopefully you guys bet whatever it is that you love. Hopefully you love whatever it is that you bet. Hopefully you cash whatever it is that you bet as well. Hopefully that's what I do too. But I may just stay with the one play, honestly. I'll be watching both of the games. Not sure if I'll get to the window in the second game or not, but I told you guys how I would if I did. Link for all my official plays are in the description as always. I will catch you guys in the next one. Enjoy your Saturday. I'm out.